the eradication of the American trillionaire. We did it! They've been eradicated. There are no American trillionaires. We did it, everybody! Yay! I guess that's a goal we all have now. In case you didn't know, a lot of people on the left apparently don't. Let me give you an AI summary of the trillionaire situation. There isn't a trillionaire in the United States or the world yet. It's almost like a serial killer. But no, there are no trillionaires. There's precisely zero. That doesn't mean that everybody on the left isn't saying that there are trillionaires. Musk wins a $1 trillion pay package, creating split screen on wealth in America. Again, no, it doesn't. But that's a whole different thing. And they never do this for us, I get it. But to be slightly fair to the left and a bunch of the politicians we're about to speak about, that headline kind of makes you seem like, hey, gosh, he's a trillionaire. Elon Musk, he's a trillionaire. I mean, it says Musk wins $1 trillion pay package. So he's a trillionaire, right? Right, everybody? At Tesla, based in Austin, Texas, shareholders have largely bought into a winner-takes-all version of capitalism. No, they didn't, agreeing by a wide margin to give Mr. Musk shares worth almost $1 trillion if the company under his management achieves ambitious financial and operational goals over the next decade. Now, the terms I would like you to look at in that particular quote are shareholders. So the people whose money is going to be paid to Elon Musk have bought in. So why would they buy into a winner-takes-all philosophy of capitalism? Because that would bankrupt them, right? Elon wins, they get nothing, right? Let's think about it a little bit. Could it possibly be that they actually win too? Could it possibly be that they think that if Elon Musk becomes a trillionaire, they're doing pretty darn well for themselves as well? Could it possibly be that the New York freaking Times, located in the financial capital of the world, have no idea what they're talking about? And you might say, well, yeah, that is what it means, Stu. No, it doesn't. It means they're lying. They know exactly what's going on here. They know why they're framing it this way, and they're doing it completely intentionally. Halfway across the country, in the home of Wall Street, also the home of the New York Times, Zohran Mamdani's victory served as a reminder of the frustrations many have with an economic system that has left them struggling to afford basics like food, housing, and childcare. I assure you, Elon Musk having $1 trillion, which I will note he does not have, but if he did have it, that money would not have anything to do with someone in New York feeding themselves. It's literally got nothing to do with them starving on the streets. You'd think with any other individual at all, what they would be doing is saying, wow, what an ambitious goal. There's going to be a lot of emission-free vehicles on the road because we're the New York Times and what we care about is a 0.9 degrees Celsius temperature rise in a century. That's our top priority. But no, because this guy voted for Donald Trump a year ago, he's apparently Mr. Evil, and we have to now think about what he's doing to income inequality, which is, by the way, nothing but a statistic. No, it literally doesn't matter at all. Let's think of this. If we were in a situation where, let's go back 100 years, the richest people in the world had a lifestyle that the poorest person of today would be very unimpressed with, okay? They would all be like, well, where are the flat screens? Where's my iPhone? Where is the central air conditioning that I desire so? And yes, we understand there are people that are suffering today. Of course, that's true. But comparing poor people to rich people and just saying they're unequal doesn't take advantage of understanding what poor people were compared to poor people years ago. And also doesn't make any sense because it's got nothing to do with Elon Musk. He's not doing this to people. Now, he is donating a lot of money to charity that does help people, but you're not going to really necessarily find too much about that in the Times story. Much like an earlier pay plan Tesla approved in 2018, again, shareholders of Tesla, this 12-step package asks Mr. Musk, the company's chief executive, to vastly expand Tesla's stock market valuation to $8.5 trillion from around 1.4 today, while hitting a variety of other goals. Those include selling 1 million robots with human-like qualities and 10 million paid subscriptions to the company's self-driving software. Now, there are approximately 0 million robots out there right now. What we're talking about is Elon Musk creating from scratch an entire industry. But should he be rewarded for that? I don't know. What about a person who can't afford their rent in New York City, down the street from all of us reporters? All of us can definitely afford the rent. But there's some people we're upset that they can't. Therefore, let's blame the evil rich guy. Now, again, what is fascinating about what Elon Musk does, and by the way he built his wealth really early, was to make completely ridiculous goals and say that he could hit them. And everyone goes, sure, if you can hit those, you can have whatever you want. And then he hits them. Let me show you some of the details of this pay package. Here we go. This is, we'll start here with the $1 trillion pay package breakdown. There are 12 market cap milestones. Right now, they're about 1.4, give or take 1.4, $1.5 trillion. You have to get it up to $2 trillion for him to hit the first goal. So a 33% increase in their market cap for him to hit any of these goals. Then you're up to, let's say, by step 5 in this process, you're at $4 trillion. By step 9 in the process, $6 trillion. You go across $8 trillion to $8.5 trillion with all 12 goals. The adjusted EBITDA milestones are pretty freaking amazing as well. Very, very high. You see the chart in the bottom right as we explain them, ramping up quickly. And then the 12 operational milestones, 20 million Teslas delivered, 10 million active full self-driving subscriptions, 1 million robots delivered, 1 million robo-taxis in commercial operation. By the way, currently there are 0 million robo-taxis in commercial operation for Tesla. Now, other companies like Waymo do have some, but this is, again, him getting into an industry that's obviously going to be very profitable and exploding over the next few years. But he's starting from a position of scratch. Now, full self-driving is another thing. I have the full self-driving thing. It's pretty damn impressive. It's not perfect yet. Not perfect yet, but pretty damn impressive to the point that you can pretty much drive, the car can just drive you wherever you're going basically all the time. There's sometimes you get some weird construction, you get a weird puddle in the road. Sometimes I think it thinks it's a hole and wants to slow down and be like, that looks like a hole to me. I want you to go down that hole. And then it's actually just a puddle. There are things like that that are wrong with it. But generally speaking, it's pretty damn impressive. To the point of like, imagine, I don't know, when we were growing up, I don't know how old you are. Maybe you're Generation X, maybe you're Generation Y, maybe you're Generation Z, maybe you're Generation Annoying, maybe you're, I don't know, maybe you're even, you're a boomer, whatever you are. Think of the promise of a car driving you around. And I will note, this car costs like $30,000. It's like half the cost. You can get a used Tesla for, the used electric car market, not strong. But you can get a used Tesla and stick on auto drive with that thing for like $25,000, $30,000. That's unbelievable. There are cars that, $200,000 that can't do that. It's an amazing achievement. But let's get mad at them. Because income inequality. We've come up with a word to make rich people evil. It's a phrase that pays. More of this, by the way. Vesting, shares earned for milestones reached within 5 years. Vest after 7.5 years of continuous eligible service. So all these provisions are met. The value of the stock award would be roughly $1 trillion. By the way, the source on that, Tesla. They're being very clear about what they're doing. And what they're doing is telling their shareholders, hey, vote on whether he should get paid like this. You can say no. What happened? The people who are actually being affected by this decision said yes overwhelmingly. Now, this goes back to, and I will say, my belief, I don't know, I will say, it's a pretty steep haul for Elon. If he's going to hit this, he's going to have to do a lot. 1 million robots, 1 million robo-taxis, market cap going up by, 5 or 6 times. These are not the types of things that executives normally base their pay on. Why? Because normally you don't come close to hitting goals like that. And I would say he has no chance of hitting these goals because these goals are ridiculous, frankly. I mean, they are ridiculously optimistic. The problem with that take is he did it last time. Remember this? 2018, Tesla announces new long-term performance award for Elon Musk. Now, let me show you this. And here is the Tesla award welcome screen. This is what you see when you're looking for this information. And I only point this out mainly to just show you, they weren't hiding this. They even made fancy graphics to tell you all about it. Now, remember, at this time, Tesla was worth $59 billion. $59 billion in 2018. It's now worth $1.4 trillion. Do you think he should get a bunch of money for that? I'm kind of thinking yes, right? Here, by the way, is what it looked like back in the day. He had to get it over, 850 billion, 650 billion, I think, in market cap, which he did really easily. There's a bunch of other stuff associated to that as well. Operational milestones, things increasing over and over again very, very quickly. He now has, I think, $500 billion in wealth. He's the richest man in the world. That's bounced back and forth between a couple people over the years, but when Tesla stock is doing well, that's typically where it winds up. And I will remind you one more time, just for the hell of it, that this is a company that is based on, 1, electric cars that are going to cure the environment. 2, solar power. All over the place, solar roofs and solar power and power batteries and power management. And 3, a freaking spaceship company that's main desire is to go to Mars. Why? To protect ourselves from global warming. Not a left-wing ideologue, by the way. Also AI. He's worried about AI running out of control. So those are the 2 motivations for SpaceX. All of those things. And I guess you'd throw AI into that because he's trying to create an AI that the left doesn't like. But the general tone here is global warming, panic. We got to do something about it. And for that, the left rewards him with this nonsense all the time. It is incredible. Now, we already solved this problem. We've already eradicated the American trillionaire. There are now 0 left. We've committed genocide on all the trillionaires. They're all gone. Now, of course, they only existed in the imagination of the left. They never existed at all. They're not real. And honestly, it's going to probably take a really freaking long time until we have one. Elon Musk, with all of his success, all the companies he's built, is only halfway there and would have to achieve an incredible amount to get to $1 trillion. He may get there sometime, but I will say it's going to be a long time. And if Elon Musk actually hits these freaking standards, he deserves every penny and more. He's going to be underpaid at $1 trillion in stock awards. And honestly, I think anyone who looks at this honestly and isn't just looking to make some point about anti-capitalist point could understand that. And, again, capitalism is the type of thing that, it raises the water level for everybody. It has been the most successful approach humanity has ever devised. It has taken and ripped 1 billion people out of extreme poverty in just recent memory. We're talking about tens of thousands of children per day that used to starve to death are now not starving to death because of this invention that everyone hates. Maybe they just don't like kids. Maybe they want them, they certainly want them aborted all the time. Maybe they want them, the ones that do unfortunately get born, to starve. I don't know what the approach is. I don't understand it. There really is nothing like capitalism. It's been incredible for the world in every single way. And honestly, it's not always just the left who are bitching about it these days. We have some on the right, we have some in the middle who are, upset about all of this stuff. They sound an awful lot like old school leftists. And that stuff is all over the place right now. I just feel like If you can't acknowledge capitalism has been awesome, there's just no fact that will convince you of anything. That's how clear the data is. At BlazeTV, we've built a home for some of the strongest, smartest voices in conservative media, people who tell it like it is. It's everything the networks won't show you, delivered on your terms, on any device, at any time. And it starts at just $8 a month. So if you're ready to keep winning, go to blazetv.com/Stu, subscribe today. Save $20 off your annual plan now. It's blazetv.com/Stu.